Of the basics we often ignore.
Hello guys, are you tired of looking for a PubG video that improves your gameplay? If so, you have landed at a perfect place. I understand your problem. So do not go for PubG videos that claim to change your gameplay overnight. It will take some time, you know. We often find PubG videos that focus on your gyro settings or sensitivities or your phone quality, ping issues, internet issues like that, but then they forget to pinpoint some important areas like your basic training. So today in this video I'm going to talk about your basic training, how you're going to improve your PubG skills. So always bear in mind, best players always focus on their trainings rather than on other stuffs. Always winners always do things differently. They do not do different things, but they do things differently. That is a very important line, as I have been saying you. So I prepared few basic tips for your reference at the end of this video. Please go through a small gameplay clip here, then and also go through those tips. Thank you.
Team match, let's go.
Finally, I saw one guy here hiding behind a container and he's trying to make some serious moves here. So I countered his moves and perfectly aimed his head, and he's down.
The blue team has
Second enemy was coming from the right hand side. As you can see, I was unnoticed, so it was pretty easy for me to finish him. Next guy was also firing at me, so I took some hip shots here and finished him. You can see here I was at 1 HP, so the enemy comes and finishes me. So in this part I was just focusing on my hip shots. So here you can see I was not using red dot and I was aiming on the enemy's head. Next guy was already hiding, so I was avoiding his shots and moving towards his right, but eventually finishes me. In this part the enemy from the back comes and finishes us. So it is always important to look behind before you proceed.
killing spree for the red team.
In the next part I was expecting the enemy to come from the right, but then the enemy was too smart too and he came from the middle and fired at me, so I was late on reacting at him, so he eventually finished me. So it is always important to anticipate enemy's position before you go further. In this part I knew the position of the enemy, so he made a mistake. I went to his right and made him uncomfortable to fire at me, so I finished him. Here I couldn't connect my shots, so I was down. I was practicing hip firing and headshots only, so my shots were not perfect, but then the enemy was so low that one of my friend finished him with a single bullet, as you can see in the video. Guys, always practice hip firing and always try to aim the enemy's head. It's always better. As you can see here, I was late reacting to the enemy, but then I connected his head, so he's down. Your movements make a lot of sense in close combat, as you can see here. Next you can see my gun is reloading. Even though my shots were in target, I round off ammos. Make a habit of switching a gun rather than reloading, okay? So I missed 2 easy kills here. The firing range was too high here to use hip firing, so I used red dot to finish him. This was what I was trying, hip firing with enemy's head. This is a perfect hide and seek moment here. You can see here I was going towards right, the enemy was moving towards left. Finally I found him, though the shot was not perfect. Here you can see I changed my position inside the container and deceived the enemy. It is always important to frequently change the positions. I was too low here to handle the final guy, so I was finished here. I was in 1 HP, you can see here. Here I finished another guy with a headshot. I was dealing with 2 guys here. My movement was not enough to avoid the shots from 2 positions. It is always better to counter enemy's movement and take headshots. I was about to reload my gun, in fact reloading my gun, but then the enemy from the back comes and finishes me. Finally, given the race, I had to use red dot to finish the final enemy. So guys, based on this video, I am gonna give you some tips to improve your game. So guys, finally based on my gameplay, as you have seen before, I have suggested you 10 points that will improve your gameplay. And I do not hesitate to tell you that I was a noob till season 9. And I have improved my game taking care of these things first. You mind it, I have taken care of these things first. So please go seriously about these points and improve your gameplay. In the next video, I will cover jump shots, drop shots, shotgun practice, throwables, climbing houses to take positions and stuffs like that. So please to become a sufficiently skilled player, first of all you should take care of the 10 points that I am going to give you in this video. So stay tuned and please subscribe to the channel for more updates. Thank you. Start practicing hip firing. Hip firing means firing without ADS. You can say firing without red dot, hollow sight or any scope. Try to aim enemy's head. If you have a habit of aiming at enemy's head, you will win the battle, be it in any range. Switch positions to deceive enemy. If you have a habit of changing the positions very often, it will give you extra advantage over enemy. Counter enemy's movement. If an enemy is making movement, move yourself to counter enemy's movement and always aim enemy's head so that you could win the battle first. Enemy's position. Always try to make out enemy's position. It will give you advantage over the enemy. Footsteps. Use good quality earphone and rely on footsteps of enemies. Make a habit of switching gun. Switch a gun rather than reloading in intense situations. Use ADS, that is red dot, hollow sight or scopes only it is necessary. Take right hand side of enemy. Take right hand side of enemy if he appears all of a sudden and move towards his left while firing. This will give you extra advantage. Look around before you move ahead. If you have habit of looking your surroundings, you will have advantage over the enemy and the chances of enemies coming from your back and killing you will be very less. Thank you. In the next video, I will be teaching you how to calculate sensitivities using simple basic maths, and that is evidence based and shall work 100% for everyone. Thank you.